Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's up the middle. Raid and decoy down in the bot. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Gravitas. Glory. Pabu's kicking song. Preless in the jungle. Harry's Harry's up the middle. Raid and
Hello and welcome. You can't see me at the moment because that is actually a technical error from the webcam. Sometimes OBS doesn't pick it up when you swap. Oof, I was zoomed in there as well. How are we, guys? How's things? And I'd like to introduce my guest Joey Semtex, but we'll call him Joey. We used to call him Semtex, but now he's Joey.
How are you?
Yeah,
What's
good,
going on, Juves?
good. For those of you that don't know Joey, which I'm sure 99% of you do because millions know him. Uh, Joey is the owner of Carnage at Carnage Os, which you can search up on Twitter if you'd like to now. And he's been he's in the esports scene. Yeah, as I said, the Carnage owner. He's had multiple teams in multiple games, and you've been someone that wasn't necessarily like a pro player, but you've come through and doing things in the industry. Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
well, yeah. Thanks for calling me out on not being a pro
Nah,
player, but yeah.
nah, because
Oh, I tried, man. I tried,
a lot of
but
people say to
didn't
me,
get there.
a lot of people say, Juves, but like, how do I get into esports if I'm not a pro? Because they think the only way to go in is if you've played the game professionally sometimes, which is a very linear way of looking at it. So there you go, cuz. There's your intro. You understand?
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm there.
There's
I'm
a
with you.
few of the boys in the chat. Say good day to Poltron, good day to Miasma. How are ya? There's a bit of a Carnage Oath link there from Poltron.
Thanks, Ultron.
Yeah, appreciate it. And
Solid.
Miasma was getting a bit lippy, but we'll let it go. Um, we'll start it off then, Joey. Talk to
Yes.
me about your esports journey and how did it start? How did you get involved? And what got you involved?
Well, I think my first ever notion of getting into esports is with you and with this. That's my first ever look at it.
Yeah,
Was seeing. I think, yeah, man, because it was Marco. Me and you and Marco were playing some games, and then I asked you what you do, and then you told. And that was where the first time I'd ever thought of anything being here in this region. I had no clue about the OPL previously to that.
yeah. Cause I remember League, like, cause it's funny, cause you don't have you're not currently involved in League Legends in your organization, but it was definitely on your
I
radar
was
for a while.
almost there. I
Yeah.
was almost there.
Was it OCS team? Which
Yeah.
OCS team were you gonna
OCS.
buy?
I was looking at Sin's OCS.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
yeah, shows how much I know, considering I was heavily involved in scene at the time. I actually remember
Yeah.
talking to you about it.
I was talking to people that had shares in the company. So
My Miasma wants to know what is your favorite game of professionalism? Basically he's it's a lippy way of saying what's your favorite game to be in or like favorite game in general.
to play, my favorite, I was in professionally.
Yeah, we'll say professionally because his question's dumb.
If I had to have picked one, I would have gone CS 100%.
Counter Strike?
Yeah.
I heard you got a brother that's looking to go pro in
He's a,
Teamfight Tactics.
in team fight tactics, yeah. Unfortunately, he was on the road, but he's a little bit distracted by that new game.
Yeah, most traditional sports athletes maybe get distracted by going out or girls and things like that, but seems to
No,
be most professional esport athletes are getting distracted by
by team fight
team fight
tactics.
tactics at the moment. So I've been
I'm
on.
sure having 5 League of Legends players, you'd be having the same problem.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, little bit, but at the end of the day, they know what their job is. It's a good, it's actually a good relief, like a good step away sometimes. So I think it's not too bad, but yeah, I was actually one of the ones that played auto chess, and then I can't really make the switch.
yeah. No, see, look, I've played a couple games of team. I actually just had a game of team fight tactics, but
Were you with Range?
yeah, I was.
Yeah,
But the problem is, it's anyway. I'm not going to go into it because
yeah.
it
Don't
really,
tell me
it
the
really
problems. We'll
stresses me.
just talk.
Yeah,
We hear about
but no,
positivity.
but so yeah, so that was my first look into it, and
Yeah,
then I think the OCS deal fell through,
yeah,
and then I sort of just went and picked up a CS:GO, right? and that was it. Like I sort of just went out and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick up a
But
CS:GO roster.
let's rewind then. Did you have a entity of some sort? Like were you carnage with an ABN? What was it? Like
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
of
okay.
course, like I
No, not of course, dude. Some people don't actually know how to start. So it's
yeah,
like
no, look,
you
when
don't
I
talk
say
to a
of
team.
course, yeah, no, you don't. But like, obviously, I registered all my stuff about a week or two before I even started looking for a team. So I was certain I was going to end up getting a team event. So I did all my accounting side of things, nice and early, and
With
yeah,
your
because
accountant.
I know for a fact that that saved me a lot of headache now.
Yeah? Cause did you how did you go through like the naming process and the logo? Was it a quick one or was it a
Um, Carnage has actually been an inside joke across most of my group of friends for a very long time. So that's where the name came from. And the logo was actually done by a graphic designer, a friend of mine, from the UK, and he whipped that up in. It took him about a week
yeah.
of tweaking and back and forth, and just in case anyone wants to see them.
Oh, dude, I have one of those too for Sin.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. That's the Carnage logo if you haven't seen it. This that
just
uh but yeah, nah, alright, cool. So yeah, you gotta register your company, I guess.
yeah. Well,
Uh
look, there's two ways you can do it.
yeah,
I studied accounting in uni, so I was a little bit more in terms of the general knowledge. But if you don't know, you go and you pay an accountant. He does everything for you, start to finish.
and that's what you did.
I did it all myself, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go pay an
Yeah, yeah,
accountant,
yeah,
and he
right.
does it start to finish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, alright. And then I was gonna fast forward to starting your own esports org, which I think we share. Um, but what were your lessons and or challenges? Cause you I get like I actually I actually didn't know that your first experience, like not experience, but your first kind of oh, what do you do?
Looking, yeah,
Esports. First look at the esports was when you came to the house, like probably to the house in Sydney. But I didn't know it was because of like your involvement with us, right? So so you'd have to learn on the fly, no? A little bit.
100%.
So
Like
tell me,
I literally went from thinking about buying an OCS slot on the Monday to looking at picking up a CS:GO team on the Friday.
and then like, so how was that? Because I
Well,
mean, I think your actual job helped you out a bit too, because you've been
yeah,
like,
well, yeah. Like I think that the conversation skills,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
people skills, definitely helped along. But like a couple of challenges I knew were not so much how I spoke to people, but who it was to know. Like for the first, I reckon 3 or 4 months of Carnage, it was I pretty much only knew you and our good friend Marco Mantaro.
yeah. Who's on Shots now? Also known as Shots. Who's the what is he? Is he the general manager of Avant? Manager?
He is
What's his
some
title?
he's I think he's the doer of things at Avant.
The doer of things.
Yeah, he does a lot of things.
See, his Twitter bio says Avant Gaming contact Maka Mentaro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his job doesn't have a title
Uh huh.
because he just does
Does
everything.
everything.
Mm.
How
How
many
many
shares he
shares does
got?
he have? I shouldn't laugh because it's friends, but still, I'm gonna laugh
Oh yeah,
because that's
don't
a
get me
good laugh.
started about Sprint and the stories. But anyway, um, so I guess the keyword that you didn't say but you're saying is networking.
Yeah, well, yeah, not so much my networking capabilities, but who like who was, and it's gonna sound rude, but who was important to talk to and who was a waste of time. And like it's the harsh reality, and not just in esports, but that's just the world. You got to sift through the important people and the time wasters.
So you're social climbing.
I wouldn't say social climbing.
Yeah. Um, what and then okay, so then we've sorted out who we need to know, how we started the org, what is it,
I
what?
guess the next challenge would be the biggest thing for me was moving from like going into it. I was expecting things to be a lot more of the way that I've seen it in the corporate world.
Yeah,
It was a big shock to my system coming in and realizing how really how like social the culture is.
yeah, like everyone knows everyone.
Everyone knows
Yeah,
everyone, and there's just a lot. There's always so much going on. Like not everything is refined to say one because you're talking 24/7 over Discord. Like that sort of stuff doesn't happen. It's not when you move away from emails and into Twitter DMs and Discord, the pace of everything just quickens up so much.
yeah. That's a big thing I learned too, going from pro to what I do now. Emails,
Yeah,
emails
like
instead of
that's
Twitter DMs and Discord.
yeah. Well, that's and you know what, man. The problem is it's like and the issue with it is you learn that you can't just send an email and then walk away because someone could reply on Twitter 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
So it's that you're always going. It's like
Yeah.
constantly the cycle's turning.
Yep. I agree with you there. But then you start like, and then you have to pick up a team, and you said you try like your OCS deal fell through,
Yeah.
and
So
then
the OCS deal fell through. So I went to a friend of Marco's actually that put me onto a CS:GO roster. Now, obviously, like I said, I went into this fully blind, so
mm,
I knew that I didn't know anything about the competitive landscape at all.
yeah,
So I went up to the guy and said, "Look, this is what I'm looking for. Um, this is what I want. This is what level I want them at. Is there anything around that I could be looking into?" And he sort of pointed me in the right direction onto a couple of rosters, and I'd say within about a week or two, I had signed the CS:GO team.
yeah. What CS:GO team was it?
So that was my first ever roster, which was Cookie, Spesh, Nib. No, I'm really bad with this.
I
Cookie,
just put you
Spesh,
on
Nib.
the spot.
Well, look, those were the three important players that
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
And
Uh,
then yeah,
and what other games have you been involved in?
I had two very short stints in Rainbow Six and in Apex.
What do you
But
define as short?
uh, Rainbow Six was alright. That was a couple of weeks. Apex was like
How did Rainbow
2.5
Six go?
to
How did
three
that
days.
work? How did that
It
function?
didn't. It didn't function and it
You didn't
didn't
play
work.
tournaments?
I don't think like the problem is we just didn't see eye to eye on certain things.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yep. And what about the Apex thing?
Apex, I legitimately I made a rush decision to get into the title and then within a couple of days decided against it,
Fair enough.
which was yeah.
Um,
And PUBG is the other roster that I've had properly.
yeah, you had a PUBG team for a very long time, right?
Yeah, so I had my PUBG roster was essentially 12 months
Yeah, I know. I think I know your captain or ex-captain at the very least.
untainted.
Untainted. Yeah, he's a cop, right? You said he's a cop.
He is.
He's a cop and a PUBG player, right? Is that what you're
He
saying?
is a cop and a PUBG player,
That's
yes.
what a monster. What a
He is a
monster.
monster. Great guy.
Um, and then what's been your most like, everyone has like a title that they get the most excited about. For you, what's it been? Like, cause you've got a Counter Strike
It
team, you've got
was
a PUBG, you had a PUBG team. Like, what is it? Who do you like watching and what? Like, tell me.
I know much more about Counter Strike, so I love watching Counter Strike.
Yeah.
But in the early days, PUBG was really exciting. So like I had heaps of fun with the thing with the PUBG roster is I spent a lot more time with them than I have spent with this current roster.
Mhm.
But I'd say overall, watching wise, I'd rather watch CS. But the PUBG community is probably a little bit easier to make your way.
Yeah. I see that. I back that. Um, excuse me. The
No
one
worries,
thing,
Zank.
the one, the one thing I'm actually really interested about, and I think I've spoken to you across DMs many a times about it, is your involvement in Counter Strike. But when I say Counter Strike, people probably think like Chiefs, IM, like that. But you're heavily involved in the the female Counter Strike leagues. How do you describe it? But like, yeah,
Um,
you currently have the best female Counter Strike team in the ANZ region. Is that fair to say?
APAC region.
APAC, even the Asia Pacific. Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me
So
about that. Talk to me about picking up the women Counter Strike team. Then tell me about the experiences you've had so far, because you've had, like, to be honest, you've gone to what, IEM Katowice, you're going to Dubai with them, and many people probably don't know or see the opportunity in FemCS.
FEMA, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up the girls in January, but I probably started talks with them a couple months before that. I first saw the whole FemCS thing at IM Sydney 28,
Were they playing there?
and they were playing
Yeah.
well 4 out of the 5 current players with it.
Okay.
Um, that was my first ever insight into FemCS, and then as time progressed, it kept popping up, and I was always wondered why no one went for it and why no one was doing anything.
Mm.
Um, After a while, I really just got fed up with wondering why no one was interested. So I showed a bit of interest, and in the beginning there was a lot of back and forth negotiation. The current roster's actually had a rough time with a couple of other orgs in the region, but after I'd say I want to say they took me a good 3 or 4 weeks of negotiation with them, and then signed them in January, and then pretty much immediately after they qualified for Katowice.
And then so how did they qualify for Katowice? Is it a league? Is it a
No,
tournament?
so it's an open. It's a sorry, it's not. It's a online qualifier, and it was a Asia Pacific region.
And then you go
First
to
seed. Just
Katowice,
first seed goes straight to Katowice,
and then what happens?
and then you
Is there
play
skins?
the.
Do they have skins from that?
No, they don't have skins from that.
Ah,
Unfortunately, they're not recognized in the major minor setup.
that's a bit annoying.
But soon, very soon.
Yeah. So then Katowice,
But
how'd they go?
we lucked out at Katowice, so we bombed out. They pretty much placed last.
Yeah, but you versed
But
the team you versed is a good team, no?
Yes, the teams I versed were good. They versed were good teams. However, a couple of things. For 3 out of 5 of them, it was their first time overseas.
Oh, really?
For 1 out of 5 of them, 3 weeks earlier, she was just a random pugger. First roster within 3 weeks sent her to Poland. So look, I don't think they underperformed in Poland. It wasn't a great performance, but I don't think they underperformed. It showed when we then went to China immediately
So
after.
what? So if you qualified for Katowice, you went to China too?
No, so so with all fem major events, it's an online qualifier always.
Yeah,
Top
okay.
seed goes. Sometimes it's the Oceanic region. Very rarely it's just the Oceanic region, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's the Asia Pacific region plays each other.
And so how did you go to China then?
Qualified through another.
And they played that before Katowice, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the space between Poland and China was only about 4 or 5 days. So we went Poland, came back, and went straight to China the same week.
And so how was China?
China was a bit better. They placed fourth, which was a massive move up from eighth.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of change in them, especially as a team from Poland. But I think that just comes with there were 5 people who had, well, really 3 out of the 5 of them had really spent time with each other outside of the game. So I think that was a lot of the benefit that came from going to Poland and then straight to China was that they were in that same rhythm.
Were there good teams at the Chinese tournament?
Every single female event is the top seeded team from every or from the
So
region.
they all go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's normally 8 teams
Yeah.
across the 8 regions, and yeah, so it's normally 2 Europe, 2 NA, and then APAC and that.
Oh, I gotta take that off. My bad. I got 10-minute follower on from when I was doing OCS trials and people were being naughty. So then now so now your latest your latest tournament that you're going to is the Dubai one.
Yes.
And
So
what is that?
on that's Girl Gamer Fest. So there was Girl Gamer
Oh.
Fest Sydney and Chatswood over the I think it was the beginning of June.
Yeah.
That was a 2-day event, and they again came through first seed and qualified for a seat at the table in Dubai, which is against again the best teams from all the other regions.
Is there prize money at these tournaments?
Well, there is prize money at all tournaments.
Yeah.
Girl Game Fest, I wouldn't really. It's not nothing to write home about.
No, but what about the majors? Or are they called
Well,
majors?
yeah, well, Katowice and they're not called majors. The major events.
Major event.
You're looking at like total prize pool sits somewhere between normally about anywhere between 50 to 100K.
So there's some
There's money.
Yeah.
There's prize winnings. Yeah, for sure. There's prize winnings.
Yeah. And does it get many viewers?
I would. Depends what you classify. The problem is I've been at both of the events, so I don't know how many viewers were on the stream.
Yeah, but is
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna be honest.
So yeah,
But they get streamed off pretty much the same
the
streams
main
as
ASL
any
channels and
yeah.
things like that. Yeah. Oh,
In Poland, it wasn't. Look, I'll be honest with you. Most of the resources go to the male CS teams.
Yeah.
We find a lot of troubleshooting happens when we're about to go live, and a lot of streams don't end up going live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's a rough life
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's weird. Very weird. Very weird. But no, I know some of your players. Well, I played. I don't know if I played auto chess with one of your players, but I met one because I I think she lives near me when I was talking to her. She used to live like literally one street away from me. Is it
Bibian.
Bibian, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
She's the one that went straight from
Pug
a
to.
random pugger to a comp roster and then straight to overseas in the month.
I heard she's a beast.
She's a gun.
Yeah,
She's an absolute gun.
yeah. Uh, let's swap games. PUBG. How was the team and how was that? And then I put lessons, but I heard it's from all accounts being very positive. So what did you learn?
PUBG team was actually probably it was a very necessary roster for me to pick up.
Yeah,
So I picked up that they were already a team. I picked them up, and then I got to know them and started talking. And then first round of contracts was 6 months, and of the first couple of months, obviously there's always some teething issues. But I got to develop a lot of my skill set that I have today when it comes to really making sure you're on the same page as your player and making sure that you guys both have like the same goals in mind. I mean, the roster that was put forward straight away took a liking to one another, and 100% they had a blast playing with one another, and that showed in the server as well. So
yeah.
they were the top team in the early stages of the PUBG scene. Fell off a little bit towards the end, I'll admit, but
Did you
they
go to
they were
Ukraine
playing
or
pretty
did you
well.
nearly get to Ukraine?
No, not even close.
So I'd sack him after that.
Well, that's essentially what I did. Yeah. No, they actually look. I can't be Gronks to them. That was one roster I had for 12 months, and
Yeah,
rather than split up and go play in different teams, they all just decided to retire.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Like
mean,
that's and then like
I
look
guess
and
that's when
and
the
you know
PUBG
the type.
servers started crashing and people
Yeah.
can't play the game and then
Yeah.
you know, bad luck I guess. Hey, so Spiticus said you got a 200 IQ jersey, or hoodie
It's
apparel. So you're very intelligent man right
this
there.
is this is limited edition, my friend.
OG says, heck, I'm late for the most anticipated stream of the week, but don't stress because you're here now. Don't stress because you're here now. And Jordan Z,
I'm gonna no. I'm gonna request we don't read anything that
nah,
Jordan
Jordan Z's
says.
gonna get timed out.
Yeah, time him out.
Timed out. Um, what like I guess if you had to tell me if you fast forward 50 years, dude, what would you want or what mark are you trying to leave on esports in Australia?
That's a
It's
see.
a
I
hard one,
haven't
huh?
really thought too much about what mark I'm looking to leave on the end.
No?
Look, I know you. Look, you know me pretty well,
Yeah.
so I'm sure you're aware. I don't like to concern myself with the bigger picture at all times. I'm really always interested in what's happening behind the doors of carnage and nothing else really.
So you haven't
And
thought
and
about anything?
well, no, not look at this point, man. I got to be honest with you. I'm putting a lot of my resources into making sure my current fem roster has a fair go,
So
because that's one of the biggest issues we face.
yeah, I and you spoke at the Girl Gamer Festival.
Yeah, I did. So I jumped on there for a little bit
What
to
was
have
that
a
about?
chat. I mean, it was well, that was women in esports, which is obviously why I was on the panel. But it was really I found it as a good opportunity for me to just go on and have a chat about, like I said, the hurdles that my team is having to go through that they shouldn't have to go through.
Mm.
For
Like
like,
what?
yeah. Well, I think one of the issues we face at the moment is the lack of a regimented league and ladder for the female
They
scene.
used to have the Peanut Gallery Rand League. I used to watch it.
Yeah, that was Peanut Gallery was a very long time ago.
Yeah, that's a very long time.
But yeah, like it's like even the thing is with most seasons that come out, most tournaments are there for one season and then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like it's always it always leaves me with question marks because the prize money offered is never the most, which is fully understandable given the landscape. But I don't see what you're losing by running a female league.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's why doesn't Carnage start running leagues?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. It's at the point where I'm seriously considering doing it. Like that's how bad it's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna have the
But
best
then you
team
can't
and then
but
be
then you
on the
can't own a
league? Yeah,
league and have your
exactly.
team in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is, and at this point, it's like, yeah, look, I'm down to help out the community, but you know,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice my roster's happiness for the community.
Yeah, what what are you like what are you doing with what's your goal for do you have okay, you say you don't know what landmark what mark you want to leave, but what's your goal at least for Carnage? Or is it nothing still? It's just making sure that what you have now is happy and working.
Well, look, I think for the past 12 months, my goal was to make sure that I didn't face the peril of most other orgs and die out.
Mm.
And now that I've passed that, I think we're coming up on 24 months soon. But now that I've passed that, I think now is I've definitely done a lot of thinking the past couple of, I'd say, months.
Mm.
I've picked the direction that we're moving. But realistically, man, at this point, I'm honestly looking to build my brand, build the culture, stuff like that. But secondly, really at this point, pretty much all of my resources are focused on my fem team.
I mean, it seems like a good investment from you. Like they're taking you to international tournaments the last couple of months.
Yeah,
Um,
well, and the good thing is, man, and I'll happily say it. It's not a financial investment that I'm making. It's really just
a time investment.
a
Yeah.
time and an effort investment. And the thing is, it's again, when it's not a financial investment, it's a pretty easy decision to make.
Yeah, but I imagine like, what if one of them go end up playing overseas? You know?
If they were to go like that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know,
That's what I'm saying. Like then people put some eyes on it, and you're
and it
the
starts from there.
and then
Yeah,
you're the
but the
spearhead.
issue is, yeah, I know the spearhead. But yeah, like I think at the moment I'm more focused on building it domestically than I am about internet. Like we're gonna qualify for every single international anyway. So at this point, I don't have to worry about focusing on that. I focus on building it from a domestic level.
Yeah.
Just
If
that
you
that grassroots block is missing. That's really all it is.
yeah. Hey, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a cheeky plug because there's quite a few people here at the moment. I'm gonna let all the boys in chat know. With Rift Rivals break being done, there's no sorry. With the Rift Rivals break being in full swing, there's no there's no OPL this weekend. But the teams of the community, the organizations, have taken it on themselves to run some show matches tomorrow night. So it'll be some show matches, some mixed teams, all the pros that you know and love, and it'll be hosted. I will be hosting the 7 p.m. block. It will then be hosted by Mammoth on the 7:45 block. Then we'll take back over 8:30 block, and it'll be a nice little cheeky 3 games. All the pros in it. It'll be some hosts. There'll be some good fun. So make sure you guys scrap the calendar, whatever you had planned. If you had planned with your wife, if you had plans with your wife, your girlfriend, your cat, your dog, scrap it. Tell them sorry. I'm sorry, but the OPL, the not the OPL, the Grados games are being hosted, and I got to tune in. And I got to tune in. I think that's reasonable. What do you think, Joe? You gonna tune in?
100%, I'm tuning in.
Yeah. um, Juves Pro League. Yeah, that's what we should call it. Actually, that's a good call.
The JPL.
Yeah, the JPL. I love that. I might change my name, in-game name to that. Um, and then I'll just do another cheeky plug if you don't mind, Joe. Uh, and I'll give you a cheeky plug too. Don't worry about it. Don't get upset. There's still plenty of plugs to go around.
Man,
Um,
I'm running out of plugs.
Another time we got the foundation membership launched for the last couple of weeks. Feedback's been good. We've taken some feedback on board. Make sure you guys give it a look. I'll drop the link in chat so there's no excuses because I know everyone likes a bit of excuses. But have a look at the memberships. Have a look what's in there. Happy to talk about it. Happy for you to DM me. It's got some fact. Yeah. There's that. So I'll put that in chat right now for you guys.
That's
Uh.
actually I like that a lot, by the way.
Oh, thanks, dude. Maybe we can
Lot.
pipe up a Carnage one
Not yet, bro.
soon.
I don't,
Soon.
but soon. But
Um.
can you give me like, can I do mates rates or what's?
Uh,
If I get foundation gold, surely
we'll
I
talk
get a
about it.
loyalty
We'll talk
discount.
about a loyalty
I'm wearing a
foundation
thin
gold.
hoodie. I'm
Yeah,
wearing a
then
thin hoodie, cuz.
if you wanna follow Semtex AU Joey's journey with his esports org and his FemCS team, give Carnage a follow. I'm trying to type your ad in Semtex Joey underscore Semtex. I can't believe you named yourself
So,
after a grenade.
I think it's because my surname's
There
Semaan.
he is. There he
Yeah.
is. Make sure you give this guy's links and socials a follow. He's a beacon. He's a beacon of light. That's what he is.
I'm a beacon of light,
A
exactly.
beacon of light, dude. Marco.
What a
Marco's in here now, man.
Marco Mogul Tara.
I got myself gastro so I could come home from work for this. Ah, thanks, Reese. I mean, well, I hope you don't actually have gastro, but um, yeah, dude, Reese, you didn't miss it. There's the VOD. There's the VOD. The VOD will be here waiting for you
Watch
to
the VOD.
analyze.
There was excitement. There was
Yeah,
carnage. There was
Carnage.
everything.
Carnage. Uh, again, Joe, do you wanna? I'll leave the floor to you. Do you wanna sign off with anything?
Look, I didn't think of a sign off. You put me on. That
Nah,
wasn't in
sign
the
it off,
run
dude.
sheet.
Sign it off, dude.
I'm not good on. I'm not good to improvise. Thanks
No?
everyone for tuning
Yeah,
in,
there you go.
and
That's it.
yeah, stay tuned for some absolute carnage.
Stay tuned for some Gravitas glory.
My one sounds better for sure. My
Can't
one
do.
sounds
Don't try and do that while you're on my stream. You understand?
better. All I'm
Um,
saying is,
yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night. Grados games. Catch you guys there. Thanks for joining me, Joe.
thanks for having me.
Yalla bye.
I love